So OnePlus launched their new Nord C3 in India recently, and this is their third Nord device for the year 2023. They started off the year with a very affordable Nord C3 Lite, then they launched the Nord 3, which is more of a premium mid-ranger, and now they complete the series with the new Nord C3. And I spent quite some time with the new phone, and in this video I want to share my experience with you guys. I'll also be doing an unboxing and show you guys both the new colors, so Grey Shimmer as well as Aqua Surge, and do a quick little color comparison, and also tell you guys the key differences between the Nord C3 and the Nord 3. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know which phone is right for you. But with that being said, my name is Yusuf, you guys are watching Tech Droids, and these are my 2 cents on the new OnePlus Nord C3. So starting off with the unboxing and taking a look at the box itself, you have a typical Nord box and nothing has really changed here. Open that lid up and you're greeted with this small compartment, and below that is your phone itself. Inside the small compartment, you have your documentation, SIM ejector tool, and this really nice high quality silicone case which is color matched to the phone. So for the Grey Shimmer color, you get this gray case, and for the Aqua Surge color, you get this really bright candy blue color. And OnePlus has started including these cases in some of their recent Nord devices, and I feel they're better than the TPU transparent ones that you get in other phones. And then below that is your phone itself. And in terms of accessories, you get a 80-watt SuperVOOC fast charging adapter and the red signature OnePlus Type A to Type C cable for charging and data syncing. Now talking about the color comparison, you've got 2 colors just like other Nord devices, and the difference between the 2 is that one of them is a glossy phone and the other is slightly on the matte side. Although to be honest, the Grey Shimmer color is also a semi-gloss look this time around. I personally prefer the Grey Shimmer, but to be honest, both the colors look really good. The Aqua Surge is on the unique side of things with the gradient back, and when light hits it in different directions and different angles, it gives off a slightly different reflection, which I really like. Even on their affordable phones, they're trying to bring out some new designs, which is really good. And both the phones look really good with their cases on as well, especially the blue Aqua Surge phone with the blue case looks really dope in my opinion. And yeah, I personally like both the phones. Again, the glossy phone is gonna get smudged up and also attract fingerprints very easily. It also gonna show scratches very easily, but if you're gonna use the case anyway, just get whichever color you want. If you were to ask me personally, I like the Grey Shimmer color, but the Aqua Surge isn't bad either, and that's your color comparison. Now talking about the design and build quality of the new Nord C3, it's very similar to the previous Nord devices, but there's one difference here compared to the Nord 3. The Nord C3 is made out of plastic, so the back is plastic, so are the sides, whereas the Nord 3 comes with Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, so that's a difference. But one thing that I realized while using the Nord C3 was the weight. It's a very lightweight device, only 184 grams and 8.2 millimeters in terms of thickness. The back is slightly curved and the boxy sides really make this phone comfortable to use. It fits very well in the hand, and the weight distribution is also very good for a 5000 mAh battery. Overall, I really like the design and build quality here. You have to cut costs somewhere, and I think using plastic means that OnePlus was able to put the price down on the Nord C3. And doing a quick little overview, on the bottom you have your USB Type-C 2.0 port with the speaker grill, and you also have a hybrid slot here, so 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and micro SD card here, so the storage is expandable. Towards the right side you have your volume rockers and the power button, and the alert slider is actually missing here. So on the Nord 3 you have the alert slider, but on the Nord C3 it's gone, and I don't know why OnePlus did that. It wasn't there on the Nord C3 Lite either, so I feel like with the Nord CE devices, they're skipping the alert slider, and it's a very signature feature which is kind of become the identity of OnePlus as a brand, to give that alert slider. So I kind of miss it here, but other than that, everything else is present. You have the IR blaster and a bunch of microphones on the top, and the left side of the phone is completely clean. So that's the design, build quality and overview of the Nord C3. Now talking about the display on the Nord C3, you've got a 6.7-inch Fluid AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate and a Full HD Plus resolution. It's a 10-bit panel with 950 nits of peak brightness, and it's also got HDR10+ support. Although HDR playback is not available in the Netflix app yet, it could be launched with a software update. But yes, the phone is Widevine L1 certified, so you can play HD videos. without any issues. I was able to get HDR playback in the YouTube app without any issues up to 2160p. So 4K HDR videos are also playable on the Nord C3. And talking about the display quality itself, again, it's a fluid AMOLED panel, so it's very smooth, gets plenty bright for indoor usage, but I think outdoor use is going to be a little tough with the Nord C3 since it's, slightly on the inferior side in terms of the brightness compared to the Nord 3. So if you do use your phone a lot in the outdoor conditions in bright sunlight, the Nord C3 might not be for you. But other than that, just using the Android UI, scrolling through things, everything feels really smooth and snappy. Although the phone doesn't really stay on the 120 Hz refresh rate at all times in all apps, it does dip down to 90 Hz or sometimes even 60 Hz for certain apps. But I feel like that's more of a software problem than the display itself. So, OnePlus can fix that with the software update. But other than that, everything else feels really good on the display. It's vibrant, very color accurate, and gets really sharp as well. It's an AMOLED panel, so you get the deep blacks. So watching videos, playing games, enjoying a bunch of series on Amazon Prime or Netflix shouldn't be a problem. Coupled with the stereo speakers, which are also very high quality for a budget affordable phone like the Nord C3, the speakers get plenty loud, they have a decent amount of bass, they don't really distort even at higher volumes. So overall, the media experience of the Nord C3, barring the lower brightness, everything else is very good. Now talking about the specs and performance, the Nord C3 is powered by the new Snapdragon 782G. Although it's a new name, it's just a slightly overclocked 778G processor with the same cores and even the same Adreno 642L GPU. You've got 8 or 12 gigabytes of LPDDR4X RAM and 128 to 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage here, which is expandable via micro SD, so that's really good. And you also have a 5000 mAh battery and IP54 dust and water resistant rating. In terms of Geekbench and Antutu benchmarks, the phone does fairly well and slots in between the Nord C3 Lite and the Nord 3. And it also competes with the other phones quite well, although it does not really come close to the Poco F5, which is the performance champ in this price bracket. But other than that, in terms of day-to-day performance, it's actually pretty good. It's very snappy and smooth. Multitasking was great on the Nord C3. You can also play some games, for example, BGMI, Genshin Impact, or Call of Duty. I'm not really a mobile gamer, so I don't really play mobile games, but I know that the OnePlus Nord C3 can do it. Again, you'll have to play around with the settings a little bit to get the best playable experience, but it's possible. Now, talking about normal day-to-day tasks like social media, watching videos, using normal apps for email and web browsing, all of that works flawlessly on the Nord C3. Now, talking about the software side of things, the Nord C3 comes with OxygenOS 13.1 and Android 13. OnePlus has promised 2 years of OS updates and 3 years of security patches here, and it should get the update to the OxygenOS 14, which is coming out really soon. It's in beta right now, so it's going to take some time. It's a clean software experience for the most part. Netflix and a few other apps are pre-installed, but you can get rid of those if you don't want them. And overall, OxygenOS is still pretty clean and bloatware free. It's smooth and snappy, has a bunch of extra features if you want them, but it's not really in your face. But overall, software was good. Now talking about some of the extra features on the Nord C3, you've got carrier aggregation, all the 5G bands in India, NFC, Bluetooth 5.2 and Wi-Fi 6. You also have the IR blaster, the micro SD card for storage expansion, and you've got really good haptics for its price. The haptics motor inside the Nord C3 is giving a really good feedback, which is appreciated, and you also have the IP54 water and dust resistance rating. So it can take a splash or two, but don't really consider going swimming or dunking it in a bucket of water. It's not going to survive that. The camera samples are on your screen right now, and from the main sensor, the images are really good looking in terms of the daylight conditions. You get good dynamic range, good color reproduction, good sharpness. Sometimes it misses out on the exposure and color scheme, but other than that, the main sensor is giving you really good photos and videos for the most part. Even night performance has improved. There is a dedicated night mode. The wide-angle camera is an inferior sensor, so it gives out softer images with less detail, and even the colors and lighting is different sometimes on the wide angle, and the dynamic range is also different. So I stick to the main sensor whenever I can. But if you do click some wide-angle shots, it's going to be usable and it's going to get the job done. The macro camera is also good. It gives you plenty of detail if you get close enough to the object. And the selfie camera is also very decent. It gives you good images in daylight conditions. If you do post them on social media, it's going to get the job done. So overall, the camera experience is also, okay-ish. It's not a bad camera. It's not a camera that's going to blow your mind away. It's very decent in daylight condition and it'll get the job done. Now talking about battery life on the OnePlus Nord C3, it's one of its strong aspects, and even charging. Charging is very fast. You have the 80-watt SuperVOOC fast charging adapter in the box, and it takes the phone from 0 to 100 in under an hour. it's more like 50 minutes. And battery life is also very good. You have a 5000 mAh battery and a full HD plus AMOLED display, so it's not really powering a very high resolution display. And the specs are also very efficient here. The Snapdragon 782G is a very efficient processor. It doesn't really overheat while using or while playing the games or using cameras for a longer period of time. So battery life and thermal performance on the Nord C3 in my opinion is actually very good. You can get a day or a day and a half if you're a moderate user. If you use the camera a lot or if you keep playing games continuously for a few hours, you could kill the Nord C3 in under 1 day. But again, if you do run out of juice, it's very quick to charge this phone up and get it back up and running. But overall, battery life in my opinion is actually very good, and it's one of its strongest aspects considering the price bracket. Now, doing a very quick comparison between the Nord C3 and Nord 3 to list out all the differences, I want to start off with the build quality. The Nord 3 has a glass back. It's got Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, which makes the phone more premium but also heavier and more sensitive to drops. The Nord 3 might break if it drops, whereas the Nord C3 has got a plastic back. It does not feel as premium, but again, if you drop a plastic phone, there are high chances that it's just going to get a small scratch or a scuff and survive. But the Nord 3 is the more premium build quality, just know that. Now, talking about the processors and specs in general, the Nord C3 comes with the Snapdragon 782G and LPDDR4X RAM, whereas the Nord 3 comes with the Dimensity 9000 CPU and LPDDR5X RAM. In terms of the display resolutions, you've got Full HD Plus on the Nord C3 and 1.5K on the Nord 3, which is higher resolution, and the Nord 3 also has a brighter screen, so it's more comfortable to use in outdoor conditions. And the last difference between the two phones is the alert slider. The Nord 3 has the alert slider and the Nord C3 does not have the alert slider. And in general, I feel like the Nord 3 has better specs and performance and a better display. It's going to perform better in terms of the day-to-day tasks and also at gaming, and it's going to last longer in my opinion. And it's also going to get more software updates. The Nord C3, OnePlus is promising 2 years of OS updates and 3 years of security patches, whereas with the Nord 3, they're giving you 3 years of OS updates and 4 years of security patches. Alright, to conclude this video, should you buy the OnePlus Nord C3? The answer is a yes and a no. Let me explain. If you're okay with all the differences that I mentioned compared to the Nord 3, so the slightly inferior build quality, the slightly inferior display and internals, and you want to save a bunch of money and use it elsewhere, you can go get the Nord C3. It's a complete package overall, gives you a really decent smartphone experience under 30,000 rupees. It's actually a good phone. But if you can spend the extra money, I would suggest getting the Nord 3, which is a better deal in my opinion, a better smartphone. And there are other phones from other brands in the market as well, which do better in many aspects compared to the Nord C3. Some phones are good at performance, some are better at cameras, some have a slightly better display. So if you are into those things, you can check out the other options as well. I'll leave links down below to the Nord 3 as well as the Nord C3 in both the colors and both the storage options. You can buy from those links to help the channel out. A huge shout out to the OnePlus store in Nexus Mall, Bengaluru, for giving me the phone for review. I'll leave their contact details as well as their address and Google Maps location link. So if you're in Bangalore, want to buy any OnePlus phones or accessories, you can visit their store. But with that out of the way, like this video if you found this video helpful, and if you enjoyed it in any way, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss out on future uploads. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions or queries. I'll be there replying to you guys. But with that being said, my name has been Yusuf. You guys have been awesome. Stay awesome, keep smiling, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make it a microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could have played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp. Make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic.